Nowadays, we're seeing a lot of talented young people who are having their talent squashed because no one's willing to let them shine. Just be patient. See where it goes. If they have a passion for something and you're more worried about how you look in the public eye, then there's a problem. There's going to be a disconnect. So you're going to wonder why your child grows up a certain way. Well, what happened to him when he told you what he wanted to do, but that wasn't according to your agenda. So I applaud you for doing this, my man. As a father, I definitely applaud you for this.
Yep.
So now your project, your book, The Undead Horizon.
Not mine.
Oh, not yours?
That's Dakota's project.
Dakota's project? Okay. Give her all the shine. Give her all the shine.
Give it a shot.
That's my baby's project because without her, I don't do this.
Right. So Dakota's project, The Undead Horizon, is the first live action series on Blerd Station to come up, right? They're currently, I think Kevin said they're currently looking for locations. Their prime location will probably be New Orleans.
Something just cut out on y'all internet.
Oh,
I didn't hear the last part.
Oh, I said, I said, Kevin was stating that they're looking at New Orleans maybe for shooting.
Oh, yeah. And I say I have a thing with New Orleans. I believe in voodoo and all that stuff.
I was gonna say, you don't like it?
You respect it, but give it a mile wide.
Every time I see some kind of spooky story, it's always based on true events. It always comes from New Orleans. Always. Always. And so when Kevin pitched the idea to my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, Kevin said, we should try to think about doing something in New Orleans." I looked at her and was like, "Huh?"
Who said?
I was like, so I told her, I said, well, I'm active duty, so I don't know if I'm gonna get that time off. No, but all seriousness, but it's exciting to try and, like I said, I'm from a small town, so all this is just real surreal to me. My kids, they are living in the moment. They like, Dad, we got to shoot today. We got to do this today. We got to do this. And I'm like, hey, y'all kids, just relax, still be kids. We'll get to all the extra stuff later on, but I want y'all to still be kids. But to me, it's like, I'm not an emotional guy, but I don't cry, but I'll get sensitive to certain things. And this is like really amazing to me because when I wrote the book, I didn't see my wife. When I wrote the book, my wife came to me and was like, "Your book is really good. What if Netflix or Hulu come to you and ask you, hey, we'll give you $10 or $20 million if we can take your book and make it into a live action? We buy it from you." I told her, I said, I wouldn't even do it because I would still want some kind of, roll into what I made.
Part of the creative process.
And that's why it's going to be on Blerd Station.
Exactly. Because when Demetrius hooked me up with Kevin and me and Kevin started talking, and then Kevin didn't even know I had wrote the book. Kevin was like, what have you done? And I was like, I got this and that to the third. He was like, well, you got the book? And he went and he ordered the book and he read it. And he was like, I'm gonna pitch this to Dion, I'm gonna pitch this to Monica, we're gonna do this. And he came back and was like, hey, we wanna do this and make it a live action. And then as time went on, it was like, okay, we wanna make this one of the first shows that come off of Blerd Station. And at that point, I think things really started to click like, yo, this is really happening. Like, this is really happening. And all the work that we do from my wife when she's putting out, the mini launch that we put out where she put this beautiful presentation together, to my whole household is invested into everything that we do. And I told Kevin, it didn't even have to be, us getting this show. It was the fact that you guys were doing something that gave my kids representation. It was the fact that my kids can look and see themselves as a superhero, as a villain, as a main character in a story, and not being snuffed out within the first 8 minutes of it. that was what I joined. That's why I joined Blerd Station, because to me, representation really, really matters.
That, if you notice, we were talking about Blue Beetle. We mentioned Black Panther. These characters of color matter to the diaspora of the BIPOC community. It just does. We talk about Lovecraft Country. We talk about Watchmen starring Regina King. We talk about a lot of these shows that are fantastically written, fantastically acted, and yet something happens. And they always say, oh, it's a budget issue. Oh, or there weren't enough numbers. And I'm like, I don't know what you were talking about, what you've seen, but
I honestly think it's just because they don't want to see us win. And my father-in-law put this very simple for me. If you start seeing too many Black people or people of color in a movie as the star, Hollywood will riot. And there are people that are buying the product will riot because that's not what they're paying for.
Right. Yeah. So we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about our main topic. Horror movies so bad, they're good.